when we talk about women's rights. The widow seems to be a social category that is left out in regards to her status, her benefits, her social integration, her duties, and above all, her rights. 258 million is the number of widows recorded in the world. That is, it is important to pay attention to this female gender. In this context, who is considered a widow? When we talk of a widow, we have to understand that we mean a woman who has been married and has lost a spouse to death. That is when she is considered a widow, different from cohabitation, which is not subject to a specific framework in Cameroon. Unlike France, Cameroon does not have a marital status besides marriage. So in our internal context, it is a married woman who has lost her spouse that is considered a widow. But let us qualify this definition. After having gone through the commonly accepted types of marriages, that is, traditional, civil, and religious marriage, each type of these having its own particularity, we must address this issue again. In regard to the three types of marriages, who is a widow? In our system, we have traditional, civil and religious marriage, and a widow is one who has gone through civil, customary and religious marriage, whose spouse has passed away.
Et dont le conjoint est décédé.
It should then be understood that in the three types of marriages, the spouse becomes a widow once life has separated her from her husband. But does the law split the rights of the widow who has passed either the traditional marriage or the civil marriage? Or should the same privileges be considered to these women, although they have formalized only one of the types of marriages without including the other? I don't see the difference in rights. Like I was saying, our law recognizes customary marriage, but has not framed a specific law for civil, religious, and traditional marriage. But the law recognizes the rights of a widow in a transversal way. So when we talk of the issue of widows' rights, there are 3 to 4 things we have or we can easily mobilize. A convention on the elimination of every discrimination related to women, CDF, the Maputo Protocol, the African Charter on Women's Rights. We equally have the Cameroonian Civil Code and the 1981, which has been revised in 2011.
Qui a été revu en 2011.
The widow's rights reveals 2 phenomena which, if properly re-evaluated, could redefine the place of a widow. Firstly, the inheritance. These transfer functions relating to the authority of the head of the family equally includes the liquidation of property according to the marital property system chosen. This is at least what the Civil Code recognizes in Article 14, paragraph 41. The widow can then inherit, though it is by request. I am going to explain why. When you look at the order of inheritance mentioned in Article 745 of the Civil Code, children first, followed by ascendants, and then collaterals. It is after this, or when there is no child, no ascendants, no collateral, that a woman can inherit. But in reality, this is what happens when it comes in the universality of inheritance. The ascendants, the descendants, the collateral, and the widow. That's a difference we ought to take note of. Because in Article 14, paragraph 41, mentions that there is liquidation. But what this article has not mentioned is that Is this liquidation by right or by request? Many people believe that it is by request due to the fact that the text did not say that it is by right. This means that when her husband dies, the widow first comes and asks the community for liquidation. And the liquidation according to marital property system chosen during their wedding. The widow will receive 50% of inheritance, and all the other inheritance will be done on the remaining 50% left. And that is why on the remaining 50%, the children, the ascendants, and the collaterals are privileged. In case these three are not there, she collects the 50% added to the other 50% she first collected. That is why I was talking about universality. And the judge who orders this liquidation appoints an alternate chief commissioner to ensure that the sharing operations are carried out in a fair manner. But widows do not know about that. They are told they merit nothing. No, they have the right to what they put in their marriage. We go further. The case law says that even when a woman does not work and her husband does, and the main part of the property was acquired by the husband's income, we consider that the sauce she prepared at home, the clothes she ironed, the education she gave to the children, her own contribution to the household. And so, all these assets that were acquired even though she was not working, she is entitled to 50%. That is clear, and that's all.
Si son mari sur le rime de la communauté de biens, elle a droit à 50% de ses biens. C'est clair et net.
If we go a little further, the widow enjoys the following prerogatives. Liquidation. This law says that she has the right to usufruct. For example, we talk of usufruct is when you exploit something and it produces fruits, like for example, house rent. It is said that on the 50%, although she did not inherit because there are children and so on and so forth, she is entitled to usufruct. And the civil code partitions these fruits, saying that she will receive this proportion in case she has this number of children. This means on the rent produced, she also has something because it is considered that she has participated in the creation of this heritage. So, she is entitled to liquidation, usufruct, and paternal power over children. Because the paternal power is exercised by the spouse during his lifetime, or the spouse can even delegate someone during his lifetime. But as soon as he is not there, the paternal power is devolved immediately to the mother. She is the guardian of the minor children, and of the others, she is simply their mother. She has no rights over adults. She only has a right to be their mother. And you know that the civil code says that all children of any age must honor and respect their father and mother. I think it's Article 371. This means that even a child of a matured age has an obligation of respect towards his parents. This is what the civil code says. So you have the right to paternal power, usufruct, and liquidation of the community. And when there is nobody in possession for the inheritance, she can then benefit from her husband's property in a universal way. The reason why the wife does not inherit, justice wants that because she has already taken 50% and to give the possibility to others who are related to the deceased to benefit also the fruits of his labor, especially the children.
Et particulièrement de ses enfants.
The rights of the widow are among the rights that have long been forgotten and ignored by most widows. For those who have lost their husbands, what steps should be taken so as to enjoy their rights as widows? To a woman who loses her husband today,
ou si elle est sur des territoires où il n'y a pas
I would
d'emploi,
like to tell her to seek for a lawyer.
parce que on
It
a un
is
vrai
costly,
souci.
yes, I agree, but seek for a lawyer.
Vous savez, parce que
Wherever she is, in any territory
sur
she
la
is
question de
found, and
l'éducation
where
et de
there is
l'accès au
no
droit,
lawyer,
pour moi, c'est
she should
l'enjeu
look for a
majeur de
case
notre société.
agent. Because we have a
Une fois
real
qu'on
issue
s'entend
today concerning the knowledge of rights.
c'est lui
The issue on
qui
education
pourrait
and
encore
access to
quelque jour
rights,
tomber sur
for me,
un avocat
is a
intègre.
major issue
Parce que
for our
souvent aussi,
society.
malheureusement,
Once a woman
les
loses
femmes
her
sont
husband,
ignorées.
she should seek for a
C'est la
lawyer.
raison pour laquelle je
She
pense qu'il
must
faut
also
aménager
pray a lot that
un
she
cadre, un
finds
espace
a
pour
good
l'éducation
lawyer.
au droit.
I see it in
Et
the
je
form
le
of a
vois
family and
sous
a
deux
law
aspects.
center. In
Le premier
addition to
aspect, je le
legal
vois
knowledge
sous la forme
and the
d'une
legal
étude de
support
droit,
that we can have, we need
où,
psychological
en plus des
support.
savoirs juridiques et de
You
l'accompagnement
know,
juridique,
in this
on
profession
peut
of
avoir
magistrates, we are called
une
upon
forme
to dialogue with
d'éducation.
people's soul.
Vous savez,
We
dans ce
discover
métier de
wounds.
magistrat que nous
We have
faisons,
several people walking out
nous sommes
there,
appelés à
but
dialoguer avec l'âme des
they're
personnes.
deeply inside. They
Et en
are
dialoguant
wounded.
avec l'âme des personnes,
It's like a
nous
mortuary.
découvrons des
You have
blessures,
women who just lost their
des
husbands
meurtrissures,
and who are already
des...
brought to court
Vous avez
with
des
their
femmes qui se
children.
baladent dehors mais qui ne sont que des
You
morts.
have a woman who have not even had time to mourn.
Vous avez des femmes
We
qui
need to
perdent
find
leur mari
space in these
et sont
families
simplement en
to
justice.
help them find
Vous avez des femmes
themselves
qui n'ont même pas le temps de
with the help of
pleurer.
psychologists,
Il faudrait qu'on trouve un
churchmen
espace dans
that
ce
will
cadre
help them cope with this situation they are
pour
going
s'occuper
through.
de ce cadre.
Help them
Et
face
toute une batterie
this morning
des hommes d'église,
because in
des
our
leaders
country,
d'église,
widowhood begins with litigation. This is a pity. It
malheureusement,
is
chez
a
nous en
shame.
France,
As soon as we finish with this family stage, we need legal clinics. We need to refine the ode of humanity that lawyers
il
take.
faut des cliniques juridiques.
We need
Il
legal
faudrait que
clinics, as
les
I
serments
said.
d'humanité
We need to find space
retrouvent leur sens.
for the
Il faut
people
des
in
cliniques
need,
juridiques. J'interpelle les parents.
where we will tell them,
J'interpelle
we are
vraiment
here
les
to
parents.
assist you,
Il faudrait
we are
trouver
here to
un
help you,
moyen
we are
d'avoir
here
des
to guide
espaces
you.
d'accompagnement pour
This
personnes
is
démunies,
used
où on
in
leur
other
dit,
countries
on va vous
with
assister
public
auprès de nous.
funding.
On va vous aider.
Like, for
On
example,
va
in
vous
France,
financer. Ça se fait dans d'autres
you
pays.
have a whole
C'est
range of
financement.
action
Vous avez
access to
toute la
justice,
batterie de l'action,
all financed by the
l'accès à la
state
justice en
or
France, l'action
departments,
101.
to allow people who have difficulties in
Les
justice
bureaux d'aide
to come
aux victimes,
and know
vous avez les
and
CPAD, vous
experience
avez
the
les
best
PAD, vous avez
orientation.
les MJD.
And
Tout ça, ce
these
sont
are
des
also
espaces qui sont
spaces
financés
for
soit par la
education in
France, soit par
rights.
l'État, pour permettre aux gens qui ont des difficultés en justice de venir savoir quelle est la meilleure orientation possible. Et ce sont également des espaces d'éducation au droit.
Contrary to popular belief, widows are advised to seek for a lawyer so as to enjoy their rights, despite the perilous path of access to these rights. Prayers are not left out to smoothen their journey.